Like, I truly have no idea what's gonna happen, and I really like that. I don't know what to think right now. I feel like I'm gonna have to reread that last page. What on earth just happened? How have you waited a year for the second book? I am loving it so far. Like, I cannot quite describe how much I am obsessed. Any magical animal and I will be happy, as long as they're like a nice magical animal. That last page is everything. Hi my loves, welcome or welcome back to my channel. Welcome to today's video. If you have seen my last video, I am literally picking up exactly where I left off, where we started The Secret Life of Addie LaRue. And throughout the next week, we're gonna be trying to read as many books from my TBR as possible. This has been on like my mental TBR for a long time, and I recently picked it up at the bookstore and put it on my TBR for the month of October. So we are starting today. Well, technically we've already started it because I started it in the vlog before, but we are only 150 pages in. 150 pages of absolute pure genius, may I say. I love V. Schwab's writing, but this is like a totally different scenario. I feel like it is completely different to the Darker Shade of Magic trilogy that I've read. It feels so artistic, it feels so lyrical, it feels so dynamic, very much like magical realism, I would say. We're following Addie LaRue, who has made a deal with the devil to have more time and be free in her life because she was getting set up for an arranged marriage and she just didn't want that. She didn't want to just be a wife in her life. The devil has translated that into a bargain that means live forever and be remembered by none. So hence the life of Addie LaRue, the invisible life of Addie LaRue. I am loving it so far. Like, I cannot quite describe how much I am obsessed with this style of writing. I am so excited to see the different sides of V. Schwab, her different approaches to writing. She has this way of like adapting different styles for the different types of books she wants to write or the characters she's writing about. That very much is the case for this one as well. It just feels really unique and beautiful. As I said, 150 pages in, I really was expecting for this to like take a while for me to get into. Like 150 pages, I thought now I would just be getting into it. I'm already so immersed in this world. I am so curious to see where we go. I'm literally like stopping myself from reading it every second of the day. So we're just gonna read a lot more today, and I'm super excited about that because I'm just so curious to see where we go. I'm excited to meet more characters as well. There are also little mentions of art pieces throughout it, like this piece for example, which I love because if you don't know, I'm like a massive art history nerd. Like, I love the Impressionist period specifically is my absolute Roman Empire. I'm obsessed with art. So I go to galleries and stuff all the time. So it's kind of fun to have a little artistic element added into this. We've made a little dent and we're gonna keep going. Guys, I am speeding through this so much quicker than I was expecting to. We're at page almost 300, 290. I didn't see myself going through this so quickly. I'm not gonna lie, I'm very limited to what I can say. I'm getting a little bit happy for Addie. That's all I'm gonna say. I am getting happy for Addie. We have met so many more characters and it's honestly heartbreaking every time she meets someone that's really cool and then they don't remember her. Like, that's her curse. She isn't remembered. That's not a spoiler. That's the premise of the book. That whole premise just breaks my heart a little bit. I know she put herself in this situation, but it doesn't matter. There's not much I'm not enjoying about this at the moment. V. Schwab's writing in this is so different, but also there's so many similarities. The way, like, it is a very fine line between lyrical, beautiful, dynamic writing that you can still understand and digest really easily and still really connect to the storyline, where there is dynamic, beautiful writing being the whole point of the story, and that, like, I don't know, you kind of have to switch your brain on. Like, I can still appreciate the beauty of V. Schwab's writing without having to analyze every single word, if that makes sense. And I just think that's such a fine balance to hit. And V. Schwab does it like no one else. This is perfect. This is absolutely... Guys, I knew I was gonna like this book. I knew I was, and I am just absolutely flying through it, and I really don't think anything's gonna stop me. I don't think I'll finish it tonight because it's already like 8 o'clock. It's still light outside, guys. It's 8 o'clock and it's still light outside. That's like the best news. But I do think I'll get another like 50, 100 pages into it tonight. I'm loving that it's split into parts as well. Not a lot of books that I've been reading recently are, and I don't know. It adds to it, I think. I don't think I've mentioned, but we're basically jumping between dual timelines. So we're kind of going back to, I would say, mainly the few years of Addie finding out she has this curse to 2014. And that's kind of where we're spending majority of our time, 2014. And every time we need to learn something about the past, we go back. But yeah, we're basically set in 2014. That is our like present timeline. I just love a past and present timeline. Like, I love a past and present timeline. I think it adds so much depth to the story. You get get to know your characters through little pieces of information that you get given along the way. It's kind of like being like in detective mode, like you pick up pieces, and when you have those realizations, like one that I just did, I was like, oh my god, it just adds so much more to the whole effect and impact of the book, I think. This is so beautiful, guys. I'm struggling to see how you couldn't like it. Everything about it I like. I don't know what I've been on at the moment, but this will be my like third book for the week and it's only Friday. That just doesn't usually happen. That hasn't happened in a long time. I haven't read 3 books in a week in a long time. I know a big critique a lot of people said about this was that it's very slow. I'm not finding it slow at all. Maybe that's just my experience reading it, but I'm not finding this slow at all. I'm just absolutely binging through it, like flying through it, finding it really addictive. Maybe it depends on the reader. I'm not sure. I am a mood reader and I'm in the mood for it, so it's working well. And as I said, I doubt I'll finish it tonight, but like we might finish it tomorrow morning and that would be really fun, guys. I love it so much. Oh my god, that last page is everything. If I had any hesitation if this was a 5 stars or not, that last page, that last like chapter just confirmed every single one of my thoughts. This is without a doubt a 5-star read. Let me just say, Addie as a character, one of the best protagonists I have ever read about. Like, she was incredible. Not once did I get annoyed at her, and that takes some kind of genius for me not to get annoyed at our main protagonist. Oh my god, that ending is haunting. It's literally haunting. Also, throughout this vlog, I'm pretty sure I've been saying the secret life of Addie LaRue. I mean the invisible life. Sometimes my brain just like switches up words in my head. I did it in my last video when I was editing it. I was saying the secret life of Addie LaRue instead of the invisible. So anyway, ignore that. Guys, this was so good. I read this so quickly as well. I could not put it down. Like, this was absolutely everything I could have asked for. This is immediately becoming my new personality trait. The characters were absolutely incredible. The ending was the best possible ending you could have had for this book because it was such like trying circumstances. I don't know how I would have ended that book. I don't know how I wanted it to end, but then the way that it did end made so much sense. This was perfect. I don't even have a single thing to say wrong about this. I know a lot of people say it's quite slow. I didn't really find it slow moving at all, to be honest. I did read it really quickly, and maybe that was just because like I'm obsessed with V. Schwab's writing. I think it's really easy and digestible to read, but still really beautiful and lyrical, and like it's good writing. I will say, I think the best thing you can do for any kind of like fantasy book, any fantasy realism book, is to read like 100 pages if you can. Like, sit down and read 100 pages, because I find the first 100 pages always the most difficult pages. It takes you a little bit to get into the world, it takes you a little bit to know our characters, and when you're still trying to figure out what's going on, I feel like this was a little bit different because it wasn't that like magical. I feel like the magical element was the fact that she made a deal with like a demon, dark devil kind of person, and that she was going to live forever and like be forgotten by everyone. Those were kind of the magical elements of it. Everything else was kind of pretty simple. So I feel like this one's definitely pretty easy, and you all need to read this immediately. And thank you for forcing me to pick this up. Now I just need to go read every other V. Schwab book apparently. For our next book, we're going to be going on to The Will of the Many by James Islington. If there is one book that has been on my TBR for a long time and intimidating me, it's this. Like, these two been on my TBR for a long time, and I'm finally getting to them, but this one has been intimidating me because of the world and the whole, I think it's like kind of, there's a bit of modern technology. I don't really know. I just know that it's quite a complicated magic system and world building system and politics and hierarchy, everything like that. I know that that's quite complicated, so that always intimidates me a little bit when getting into new books. It's fine. This will be fun. Fingers crossed I'm okay. I'm 150 pages in, and I kid you not, I have only just started to understand. I don't want to say magic system, I'm going to say our political system, the hierarchy system. This is literally called, the series is called Hierarchy series, the Hierarchy book 1, and it is very much centered around that. I am very, very glad that Jamie gave me a kind of summary of how this magical political system works. Basically, this is incredibly useful. It is the ranking system for this world. It's a little bit like a pyramid, and the top of the pyramid receives the most will, and the people at the bottom are like, so the people at the top are the strongest, people at the bottom are the weakest and poorest. Will is basically like mental, physical strength. You can take people's will from each other, and will feeds up to the most powerful people in this society. Originally, I thought it was more just like physical strength, but it's like it's everything. It's everything, guys. Basically, the bottom of the pyramid don't receive any will from anyone, and the top of the pyramid draws from the below rank. So like, believe, for example, the sextus, which is like rank 6, so it's pretty close to the bottom. It's 8 till 1. So rank 6 receives will from rank 7, I believe. And then rank 5 receives it from rank 6. I believe that's how it works. So like their will goes up. I think that is what I'm understanding at the moment. Not only is the political system hard to understand, it doesn't really give you a moment to understand what's going on because it is straight into this. Like, there was action straight away. I had no time to kind of dilly-dally and be like, oh, okay, so this is what's going on, this is what's going on. No, we were straight in. I have been listening to the audiobook on and off as well, doing immersive reading as well, which has really helped. As I said before, for fantasy books is to just read as much as possible. It won't make sense necessarily, but then things will click. Like, I have just noticed that I'm more focusing on our characters and our story than I am focusing on the hierarchy system and trying to understand that. Also, I always find it really hard to get my head around the fact when like certain people in society will be very poor and it's almost like medieval vibes. Like, they're living off nothing. They don't really have proper shelter, everything like that. And it feels very dated. But then the people in the higher ranks, their will powers like this insane technology. It's kind of hard to explain, but we do have some like, their mode of transport is very highly advanced technology that is powered by will. It's really, really hard to explain. I am enjoying it now. I am gonna keep reading. I feel like I need to focus on the plot more now. In case you don't know what it is about, we are following our main protagonist, Viz, or at least he tells us that his new name is Viz. He gets adopted by a higher up family and they want to train him up and put him into the academy, which is basically training people to be senators for the hierarchy. The idea of this academy is that like you graduate with a higher status as well. Like, you can graduate on a very high rank, basically shaping the future of their political system. So Viz is adopted into this family, even though he's quite old, and he is put into training to join the academy. He hasn't joined yet. I'm still in the beginning phases, but I'm very excited. We are over halfway through now, which I am very excited about. I can't explain it, but I have like this giddy feeling when reading this book. The only way I can describe it is it feels like reading like Harry Potter or something for the first time. The academy setting is set up in that same magical, mystical, but like intriguing sense. It just is making me giddy. It's making me so excited. I feel like an academy setting can often be a little bit of a letdown for me because I love like the classic kind of academy feel, like going to classes, everything like that. But more often than not, I feel like the academy setting is just kind of there, like that it's at an academy and nothing really academic, if you will, actually happens, if that makes sense. But I feel like we see our protagonist Viz in classes all the time. In the academy, they're in different ranks. You start out on rank 7 and you work your way up. And the higher you graduate, the higher like status you can graduate with. But obviously Viz is trying to work his way up. He has been training heaps. So we're seeing him try to do that and that's really fun. Meeting so many more characters now as well, now that we're at the academy, which I'm really, really liking. Like, I'm loving getting to know everyone more and I feel like I'm finally getting to know them well. Like, the names are kind of hard, I'm not gonna lie. So it's kind of hard to remember who you're talking about, but now they've appeared so many times, we've had so many moments with them, I'm like, yeah, I know who you are and I either like you or either I don't. Honestly, there's not a lot of characters I don't like that much, but it's so fun, guys. It's so much fun. I literally cannot put it down. And I just never thought I would have said that. I will say it definitely is a commitment. Like, you have to commit to the first 150, 200 pages. I know that's a lot to understand the world and the politics and everything that's going on, the hierarchy system. But once you understand it, like even trying to understand it is fun, but like once you have it under your belt, It is truly like one of the best worlds I have read about. There's also just so many like unknown elements in this world, which I really, really like. I like that we've got this sense of like mystery about us, and I don't know what's gonna happen. Like, I truly have no idea what's gonna happen, and I really like that. Truly, there has not been one single negative to this book so far. I have enjoyed every single part of it. Yes, it was it wasn't even slow at the beginning. I was about to say it was a little bit slow. It wasn't. It was just hard to get your head around, but it was action the whole time. And I just feel like I have connected so quickly to these characters. It's quite insane. Anyway, that's my update for now. We're gonna keep reading and see how far we get into it. But like, guys, so much is happening. I feel like we're starting to build up to something big happening as well. There are so many elements that have been mentioned in the past. I'm like, oh, that could have some relevance like for the later parts of the book. I don't know. I'm really nervous, but I'm really excited. Guys, we literally have less than 100 pages left. I'm at page 547. I truly don't know what's gonna happen. I don't know. I really don't know what's gonna happen, but the amount of times my jaw has dropped in the past like 200 pages is insane. I literally cannot describe. Oh, hi, Miss. Hi. How much I'm enjoying this book. I physically, I get giddy thinking about this fantasy world. I get giddy over romances pretty often. Like, if I like the romance, if there's chemistry, I get it. I do not get giddy over magic systems, over magic fantasy worlds very often. I don't know whether it's because I went in with like really little expectations and just thinking I wasn't going to love it. I don't know why I had those kind of ideas set around it. Well, now I'm just like absolutely blown away with it, and so therefore very obsessed with it. I don't know why I'm so obsessed with it. I love an academy setting. I feel like this is one of the best academy settings I've read in such a long time. I am totally obsessed, and I am so nervous to finish it. What is gonna happen, guys? Actually, what is gonna happen? Anyway, let's keep reading, shall we? And I'm of course gonna be recording my reaction to the end. I want to cry. We've reached like I'm guessing it's the like epilogue thing? I don't know. I'm really confused right now. It's the same way that started. I'm so confused. What on actual earth? I actually I don't know what to think right now. I feel like I'm gonna have to reread that last page. What on earth just happened? How have you waited a year for the second book? I don't know, I can wait a week. I need to process this. I truly cannot describe how much I loved this book. Like, this book was absolutely everything. No, not even that I expected. I didn't know what to expect going into this. I actually thought I was not going to enjoy it at all. I have posted on TikTok saying that I was reading this, and I've gotten so many comments being like, I've started reading it, but it's taking me forever to get into it, and I just don't know if it's worth it. Please just keep trying. I know that it's not going to click until the like 150, 200 page mark, but I promise you, it is so worth it. To experience this world, so worth it. I literally Googled that ending to make sure I read that right. I texted JV, I was like, is this how it actually pans out? And she was like, yeah. I'm quite in shock, but like in the best way possible. Nobody could have seen that coming. Nobody could have seen that coming. If you saw that coming, I would be shocked. Masterpiece, absolute masterpiece of a book. I cannot wait for the second book to come out. I think it comes out in about 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks. So not too long to wait. I can't believe you guys have waited like a year to read this book, because wow, I'm just in shock. This is easily a 5 stars. We've had 2 5 stars in a row. I haven't had 2 5-star books in a row. Like, I think all year, maybe back in like early months of the year, but in a long long time. For our next book, I have actually started it very, very briefly, and that is going to be Diabound. Obviously, this is also on the TBR for the month. I have been seeing so much about this book. I'm actually like a little bit intimidated to go into it, but just because there's so much hype surrounding it and so much love surrounding it that I'm like, what if I don't love it the same as everyone else? So that's always my fear when I go into romantasy books. As of now, we are about 50 pages in, so very, very early days. I'm liking it. It's a very different speed because Will of the Many was obviously so high fantasy, like it was so intense to read. You had to pay attention to every single word. Invisible Life of Addie LaRue was very, I don't know, lyrical, dynamic kind of writing. This is just very fast-paced, quick writing. Like, I'm not reading this for the writing. It is in present tense first person. One of my biggest like pet peeves, to be honest. I really don't love that. Anyway, it's fine. I'll look past it. Like, once I get used to it, I'm fine. It's just the initial like getting used to first person present tense. I don't know why I don't like it. I actually like third person way better. I know that's a really unpopular opinion, but I don't know. I've always preferred third person. As of now, we don't know too much. Basically, we are following Merrin. She's quite a poor person in this world. There are higher ranks, especially people who belong to the bonded, which are basically kind of like, let's say, soldiers that bond with dire wolves. I do love a wolf aspect in this. That's really fun. But Merrin isn't part of that. She's looking after her very sick mom, and one day she turns around for like literally 5 minutes and her sister has disappeared. So she kind of makes this vow to go find her sister by becoming a soldier. She wants to go to the front lines. She doesn't want to be part of the bonded, but she doesn't realize that the bonding trials are taking place when she is trying out. So she has to like see if she can be a part of that. Like, it's a requirement before she goes to the front lines to find her sister. So I will say, I feel like it's lacking a little bit of substance. Like, I'm not really seeing where our character's coming from I don't know. It's just very fast paced, and that's good. Like, I am going to really enjoy that. It's going to make it really easy for me to read, and I probably want that after what I've read. I don't know, sometimes it can be a little bit too quick and we don't have enough lore for the world, so we'll see how that goes. Also, really interesting romance line. I'm kind of confused because we've already met a love interest, and I was like, well, okay, we'll see how we go. Almost 50% through, 45, shall we say, through Diabound. We're at page 254. I'm trying my best, guys. I am really trying not to be biased because I just read 2 of the best books I've ever read in my life. Now I can't help but compare those masterpieces to this, which isn't fair on this book because they were both such different reads. Like, Addie LaRue was magical realism. Will of the Many was like a massive high fantasy book. This is like a romantasy book. So it's just such a change of tone. Whilst I'm loving an easy, digestible, fast-paced kind of fantasy, like, don't get me wrong, it's very modern. That's the only way I can describe it. The writing feels like a modern protagonist, and our last 2 have felt very whimsical or old fantasy vibes. Whether it's, yeah, this is a very modern protagonist, which isn't a bad thing. Again, I just am not used to it. Like, I'm still in the mindset, honestly, I haven't stopped thinking about Will of the Many, if I'm going to be completely honest. I do love the direwolf aspect. Love an animal, a magical animal. Any magical animal and I will be happy as long as they're like a nice magical animal. It's very similar to like Fourth Wing in the sense that you almost like bond with a dragon, like they're bonding with direwolves. I haven't read about direwolves before, so that's really fun. It's a really like fun, easy kind of fantasy read, and as I said, I'm really liking the direwolf aspect. At the moment, we are following Merrin as she kind of enters trial territory. I feel like she's living in this castle essentially. So we almost have like not an academy setting, but like a, I don't know, they're all staying in the same place, and it's kind of fun because we get to see all of our characters so many times. And I will say, if you don't want to have any spoilers whatsoever, this is just a trope that I don't think it spoils it because you find it out within like the first 50 pages. I do fear that there is a love triangle coming on, and I hate love triangles. I have never read a love triangle that I've enjoyed. The only one I haven't minded is in Kiss of Deception, and that's because the first book isn't really a love triangle that much. Guys, I don't like love triangles. I didn't even like the love triangle in Twilight when I was 13. It's fine. I'm still gonna read it. I'm still having fun. Like, I love the world. I love the characters. I love one of the characters. One of the characters, all you have read it, Stark, I'm not seeing it, guys. I am not seeing it. I don't understand. I mean, I'll probably change my mind in like 50 pages, but at the moment, I do not see the interest. I feel like I'm alone in that. But anyway, we'll see. Really liking the world. Really liking the whole kind of magical side of things. Just Will of the Many was such a good level, guys. It was on the whole nother level, and it's not fair to compare anything to that book. I really like the world of this. I'm just not loving our characters as much as I want to. I love our side characters more than our main characters, and I feel like that's saying something. We have about 100 pages left. We're at page 426. As of now, I don't really know what to think. There's so many elements that I am really thoroughly enjoying. Like, I am having a really good time reading. But then there are also so many elements that I just don't love. I feel like my problem recently, and the reason I haven't been reading as many fantasy romances, I've been more reading fantasy books or magical realism books, is because I know the plot of fantasy romances so well, and it is really, really hard to follow a different kind of plot as a fantasy romance. In terms of romance, like in terms of the love interest and what's going to happen, I don't know, sometimes it just, when you're craving something new and unique, it doesn't quite hit the same. When I'm craving literally fantasy romance, it hits so good. And I am really, really trying so hard not to compare it to Will of the Many, but it is so hard because I read just 2 incredible books and it's not fair. And honestly, this book is still like shaping up to be at least a 4 stars. Like, it's a good book. As I said, elements I really like. I really like the world we're set in. We're also based a lot in a castle and I really, really like that. Like, it's very atmospheric. It's raining today. It's like really good for this kind of weather. We also have a trials element in this, which is really, really fun. Like, it definitely keeps you on your toes. I'm always really interested and curious as to what's going to happen. It's the romance that I'm not obsessed with. As I said, I thought this was going to be a love triangle. I don't really know what's going on, to be honest. I'm just going to name the characters and I'll say what I think of them. So like, if you've read it, it'll make sense. If you haven't, I'm not giving away any spoilers. As I said earlier, Stark, I'm still not obsessed with. I think he has absolutely no character. To me, he is just an embodiment of a person at the moment. He doesn't have a personality. Like, he's literally just grumpy. And I'm like, okay, hopefully I'll find out the reason why he's grumpy. Hopefully I'll find out a little more about him soon. But as of this moment, he's just there. Meryn, I don't know. Again, she just feels very similar to a lot I've read about. Not a bad thing. I don't know. I'm rooting for her, but I'm not connecting to her. So it's like a 50-50, I guess. Isabel, I really, really like. Her sister is kind of like a lot quieter, but that's nice as well. I think it's a good contrast. Yeah, there's a few characters I like, a few that I'm just kind of on. I just would like a little bit more depth to some of our characters. I think that's what I'm missing. That's been my main problem in a lot of romances I've read, to be honest. I'm trying not to be too critical. There are so many elements I love. I knew it. I knew that. So annoying. I did not know that. I did not see that coming. Guys, we finished Diabound. Another book on our TBR done, which I am really, really happy about. I think we're gonna leave this video at that though, because I'm visiting my family tomorrow. So we finished this at a perfect time. Don't know what to think of this. This is always why I'm so scared to go into really hyped up books. Like, half the time I don't really understand the hype. And that's a me problem. I always set way high expectations for popular books. That's not fair on the book. I kind of saw every single plot point coming. I'm gonna say that. I feel like if you're a romantasy reader, you probably could have seen every single plot point coming just because it used classic tropes. And so when you play into those tropes, it's pretty obvious to see what's coming next, if that makes sense. Not saying I didn't like it, because this was a really fun, easy romantasy read, and if you need something that is just gonna whisk you away into another magical world, like, this is definitely a really good option. But as for like, would I recommend it? I don't know. I don't think it's anything crazy unique. I really liked the direwolf aspect of it. I'm thinking like a 3.75 or 4 stars. Like, there were definitely elements I enjoyed and it was super easy to read. How long did it take me to read this? It's Sunday today, so I think I started this on Friday, so like pretty quickly. Thick romantasy book. So I feel like that's saying a lot. It was really fun. It was a really fun romantasy, and I don't think it was fair that I read it after Addie LaRue and Will of the Many. I don't think that was very fair on this book. I would recommend it for a romantasy book. Like, it was really fun. I will say, guys, I still don't like Stark. Like, I'm probably meant to be loving him by now, but I really don't. And I feel like when I don't like a very important character, it really hinders my whole experience for the book. I really like Isabel. I really like Venna. They're both really cool, and there's definitely characters I do really like. I love our direwolf. I did really like this world though, and I am curious to see where our series goes from here, because it was definitely left on a cliffhanger. I go through this phase with romance books as well, when I like read quite a few of them and then all of them start to feel the exact same and you know where every single plot is going, and then you're like, no, I need a break from romance book. That's kind of how I'm feeling for like romantasy books. I don't mind a subplot of romance, but I think there's a difference between between romantasy and then fantasy with a subplot of romance. I'm a fantasy with a subplot of romance girl. That's what I love. I love when the romance is there, grab onto the tiny little specks of it. So I don't know, but as I said, it depends on my mood. I'm a mood reader. I don't know, we had an interesting video. We had some incredible reads. Like, to be honest, all of these books were really good. I'm so happy with how we did on our TBR this month. I think there was only like one book we didn't get to, and I can try and get to it by the end of the month anyway. But yeah, that brings us to the end of this video. So thank you so much for watching to the end of this video. It truly means so much to me. I hope you enjoyed today's vlog. I hope you enjoyed reading along with me. We had some emotional roller coasters of some books here. Thank you so much for watching to the end of this video again. Like, the fact that you're still here is wonderful to me. I hope you have a fantastic week, and I will see you in my next video.